Welcome one, welcome all to South Carolina's brightest patch of green. We invite you to Stone Stadium, where today's match is presented by ScanSource. On a soft spring evening in the upstate, it's a set of sides feeling the light squeeze of an early season urgency on the offering today as Greenville Triumph welcome the New York Cosmos, both still after their first points of the young campaign. Howdy folks, with Ross Davenport. As always, I am Peyton Gallagher. And Ross, for Greenville, it was a strong start against Chattanooga Red Wolves, getting out 1-0. But on Dave Dixon's debut as manager, it would be the Red Wolves that would see the day through, winning this 2-1.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tough opener for Dave Dixon's men. New staff, a lot of new players against one of the better teams from last season for returning their core. They outshot Chattanooga 12-5, and Dixon said he saw glimpses of how his team wants to play, but it just wasn't enough. Goals from Omar Hernandez and Grayson Mercer were enough for the road win for Scott McKenzie's men. Of
course, for the home-sided Triumph, they did not have Rodrigo Robles able enough to start that game. He will today. He is our Hopkins Eye Center player to watch.
Yeah, coming off a superb sophomore season for the Triumph. 5 goals, 8 assists in all comps, but as you said, only getting his first start of the season here tonight due to a late arrival because of visa issues. He'll look to cause all sorts of problems for that Cosmos back line tonight. Technical ability and quickness.
Of course, for the Cosmos, it was a cross-the-country bit of travel as they went to go see Spokane. Got a rude awakening for a team that has the brand value, but has found things very difficult in the first couple of matches.
Yeah, they're like Greenville in a slightly different way. A tough start to the season. It's Portland and then Spokane, two of the better teams from last season as well. Went down 3-0 in the first half against the Velocity, but were by far the better team after the break. Outshot them 11-3, an XG of 2.44. Julian Locker particularly impressive off the bench down the left side. We'll surely see him tonight with their third game coming up in 8 days on Saturday against Fort Wayne.
We will see if Christian Kofi potentially might be able to lend a spark. He missed that game, but he will be available today. Player that's been plenty dynamic down the years, most recently with Huntsville City in MLS Next Pro.
25-year-old Frenchman, an impressive resume, came through the youth programs at Monaco and Fiorentina. He was at one point rumored to be joining Liverpool as a teenager. 10 goals and only 18 appearances last season. Will be rested after not featuring Saturday.
He didn't score in 8 games last year for Huntsville. He will be on full display, as will all the other players betwixt these two rosters. When we come back, Greenville Triumph and New York Cosmos, both teams desperately seeking their first 3 points of the young campaign. It's all for you when we return.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
My name's Adam Gorlitsky, the founder and executive director of I Got Legs. We help paralyzed athletes get access to exoskeletons that allows them to stand up and walk again. The South Carolina Education Lottery allowed me to get an education and then use it as a springboard in really launching my organization. It all kind of connects back to making life a little bit easier for people.
More accessibility means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
At Johnston Orthodontics, we combine art and science to create your perfect smile. After a thorough exam with x-rays and digital models, we design custom aligners tailored just for you. With our on-site 3D resin printer, these designs come to life, ensuring a perfect fit every time. Ready to tame your smile? Call us today at Johnston Orthodontics.
I think that music is a kind of magic. As a therapist, I have seen firsthand what music can do. And because of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to go to school and turn my passion for music into a career that helps others. And that is pretty magical too.
Better support means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Lineups today, starting with Greenville. These are presented by CISA and Ross. Namely, Deshane Beckford makes his first league start for Greenville Triumph.
Yeah, 131 USL Championship appearances under his belt, the man from Jamaica. Speaking of Jamaica, Amal Knight not in the squad tonight due to international duty for Jamaica. They'll take on New Caledonia World Cup qualifying tomorrow. Devin Boyce misses out with a minor knock.
He had scored in both the games in the Open Cup and the league opener, but for New York Cosmos, this will be the group that they go with from the out.
Yeah, Davide Corti with 2 changes. Out goes Alanka and Galazzini. In come Davey Mason for his first appearance for the Cosmos, former Tormenta and Texoma man. As you mentioned, Christian Coffey comes in after taking on over the weekend our player to watch tonight.
Out to the live pictures now. Greenville Triumph, New York Cosmos, both with expectation certainly creeping up without a win in the early going of this campaign. Stephen Perry is our center official tonight. He will turn the light green. Non-stop action from the upstate. From that first whistle. Once more with Ross Davenport, I am Peyton Gallagher. And we are underway in South Carolina. Greenville Triumph and New York Cosmos, once more both sides in search not only of their first victory of the young campaign, but their first points. And Deshane Beckford's onto the ball immediately.
Yeah, the Triumph been dealing with some early visa issues, as we mentioned. Deshane Beckford took a while to get in, as did Robles. Also some injuries. Chapo Herrera yet to make an appearance. Devin Boyce, as mentioned, 2 goals in his first 2 games back with the Triumph. He will not participate tonight due to what Dave Dixon said is a minor knock. He should perhaps be available on Sunday against Westchester.
They are massively excited, Dave Dixon and his staff, about what Deshane Beckford might offer. One of those players that the Greenville manager said within the first couple of weeks of training, you could just tell his pace was a separating factor. But as far as to mention as strongly as saying that, yeah, this guy might be one of the best attackers in the league if he hits his ceiling this year. He'll have to step into the shoes of the aforementioned Devin Boyce, who's been such a conduit for offense in the early going. Beyond the reach of Rodrigo Robles, and out for a throw.
Yeah, could certainly be one of the more dynamic front threes in the league if they get things going. All sorts of pace and strength in Liadi and Beckford, and then the veteran presence of Leo Castro coming off the bench perhaps later tonight.
The Triumph are licking their wounds a little bit after a defeat in the Open Cup first round against Asheville City. A response is the thing that they're in search for. What kind of personality they might show on this night against a Cosmos team that is equally as hungry as they are.
The Cosmos looked very good in that second half against Spokane. Came out a little defensively in that first half. Gave away a couple of cheap goals. Found themselves down 3-0 at the break, but responded beautifully in a superb second half performance. We'll see if they can keep that going here in this first 45.
Here goes Deshane Beckford, who was unable to whittle free of Davey Mason in cover. You mentioned it though, Cosmos showing a little bit more aptitude maybe than the scoreline suggests. They've been unlucky. If you are to look at some of the underlying numbers, they've conceded the most goals in the league at 6. That fact comes despite knowing that they've only surrendered 15 total shots, which is in the top 5 in the division, and only 9 shots on target. Regression to the mean suggests that Cosmos might be a little bit stronger in these first couple results. On by Fricky. Fricky has a go! Oh, wow! A blinder from the captain, Brendan Fricky. And not 3 minutes gone, it's 1-0.
Well, we've seen him score goals with his head. I was about to say, I think we might see some goals tonight. Didn't think we'd see any like that from a center back. What a strike by Brandon Fricky. From the angle we had, we weren't sure where it was going. And then we saw Tristan Stefani just hopelessly beaten with the power of that strike from the captain. It's worth another look. And he was the one with the original flick too. Evan Lee with the contest, and then Connor Evans knocked it back in one touch with the thigh. Oh. Goal of the week. That might be up for goal of the season by the end of things.
Head turner. Brendan Fricky puts it in the top corner as far as it will go. In Greenville, light as a feather inside the first 5 minutes.
One thing Dave Dixon mentioned, we'll talk about in our keys to the game when we get to them, but was getting to those second balls, and that was an example there of Evan Lee sticking with it. Connor Evans just smartly knocking it back to Brandon Fricky, who I'm not sure what he expected him to do, perhaps just lob it back into the danger area, but what a goal to open this one.
The goal is brought to you by YMCA, one that none that have witnessed it will soon forget. Brandon Fricky had to come out early against Chattanooga Red Wolves in the opener with a little bit of an injury. Didn't get to play against Asheville City. Certainly seemed as if he was scratching at the door to his enclosure, if you will, as he picked that up and put it exactly where it needed to go. And Greenville have their tails up. Connor Evans carving wide. Escapes Patrick Segrist on the overlap, but Greenville showing a degree of spontaneity, creativity in that moment that was absent for large stretches of the Open Cup tie.
Yeah, looking fresh. Did not play on the weekend, Greenville, so have had that week off. It's only the second of 3 games in the space of 8 days for the Cosmos. They will be back home for 3 in a row starting on Saturday, so we'll see how Davide Corti deals with the substitutions later on in this one. Greenville certainly coming out with a spark here this evening.
An uphill climb immediately for New York Cosmos. Mason. Sweet stuff through the mid-park. Davey Mason with that background as a midfielder. More than comfortable in those central spaces, but now on the front foot. Patrick Bowie. Kofi's infield. Scrambled away by the Triumph.
Brandon Fricky's 7th career goal in nearly 200 professional games.
Moabito sprinting forward and lifting it across. Off a hop. Bounds beyond Christian Kofi. Greenville start to pattern away out of their own ends. Whole new game, 1-0 by way of Brendan Fricky. The keys to the game, they may have changed in your mind a little bit here, Ross. They're presented by Acumen IT, but for Greenville, big emphasis is to grit those teeth a little bit.
Yeah, Dave Dixon wanted Greenville to win the ball a little higher up the field, win those second balls, which is exactly what led to that first goal. Win the duels, just compete a little more. He was a little disappointed. As for the Cosmos, disappointing first half, as we mentioned, 0.1 XG and 4 touches in the opponent's box versus Spokane, but we're much better in that second half due to the brave play, a lot less cagey in that second half. We're getting forward, taking on players. Haven't seen it so far yet tonight. Greenville doing a good job of not letting them.
Beckford contested by Mason and skipping away. Camito Fritz. Evans. Evan Lee is dispossessed.
Camito Fritz, obviously a rookie coming in. He's found himself as the starting right back. Toby Sims occupied that spot for most of last season until getting hurt. He'll be out for a little while longer with that knee ligament injury. And DJ Benton, who was expected perhaps to start a right back, he's also out with his own knee ligament injury. So Camito Fritz thrown straight into the fire here for Greenville and has looked good in the first couple of League One games. 1 1/4, I'll say. Not quite a quarter yet. Dave Dixon said he was keeping a very close eye on him during his college days. Obviously, Dave Dixon previously with Charlotte.
Four total seasons with the Independents in 2 spans, first in 2019 and 2020, and most recently these last 2 years. And coaching at various levels of the game for what is now 29 years of his life. Getting his chance as the manager at senior professional level, though, for the first time this year with Greenville. Throws a player down.
Davey Mason, Evan Lee were tangling on the sideline, and Mason slow to get up on his back. Definitely came up second best in that collision. Be all right though. Just got winded. Let's have a look at it here. Good job by Evan Lee with the body. Oh, and then Evan Lee landed on him. Not a small man, Evan Lee.
Stoppage is brought brought to you by Upstate's Finest Sport, as is this adjustment of the match in the injury report. As it is, you already got into some of the details with the players missing for Greenville. A whole handful of them not even listed there. This is, of course, your main man in creation. That being Devin Boyce, who is unavailable by way of injury here today, but that's precautionary, we're told.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Dave Dixon said he should be back Sunday. Don't expect any of those other ones back. Chapo Herrera still recovering from an off-season issue. Sims and Benton with the knee injury.
Bowie goes down and he wins the whistle.
Jason Bougie, I think, was dealing with a foot issue. He should be back in a few weeks.
Spangler at the controls as Ajmer Spangler denied by Seth Dorman.
Ajmer Spangler, a man that's caused trouble for Greenville with his pace in the past. Popping up in that channel where he can be so dangerous.
It was he who scored that almost deadening goal against Greenville with Texoma last year. That's kind of the flashpoint moment, Ross, if you are to look through the catalog of last season in which things started to totally turn uncouth for the home side.
And certainly a season to forget for the Triumph. Moving on with a new staff, as we mentioned earlier. A lot of new players, a new stadium coming in a couple months. Certainly plenty of things to be excited about, even with this slightly rough start. Just the one loss so far, though. Under the belt, did not play in that first weekend, or this past weekend either.
Did you think you'd hear uncouth this evening?
Did not have it on my bingo card.
Back in circulation now. Fritz stabs it away from Kofi, but ultimately the wide man has enough stick-to-itiveness to keep the ball for his side. Stefani away. Beckford peeling onto it with company in the area. Deshane Beckford dicing, dazzling. Headed away, on course for goal.
Everybody sort of stopped there. Thought Deshane Beckford was offside. He even looked up to see if there was a flag, but it didn't appear. Beckford just kept going.
Dumped in for Evan Lee. Segrist. And these are some of the close proximity patterns that Greenville were looking to rely on, but breaking that all up right now, our New York Cosmos. Bowie. Bowie in for Spangler, who lifts it high.
It was always going to take something special from Ajmer Spangler there. The ball coming across his body 25 yards out with the left foot. Probably had time to control it. Connor Evans was coming in, but he was giving him a good 7 or 8 yards. Disappointing in the end.
But in conversation, those were the moments that Dave Dixon said were keeping him up at night in preparation for this game, specifically the broken moments where Ajmer Spangler involves himself.
Definitely one of the more technically gifted players in the league. These two previous teams now not in existence, which is a shame. Picked up by the Cosmos. It's only going to be the key to their success in the midfield this season.
One of their earliest announcements, Ajmer Spangler in the All-League team last year, second team to be precise.
I'll correct myself, Texoma are still in existence, just not in the USL League One anymore.
Just returning though to what Dixon was focused on with Spangler. You can see it immediately. When the game gets chaotic, that's when he feels the most comfortable, and those players can always make a difference.
Yeah, he's not the tallest player in the world, but he'll shrug off tackles and challenges and get on that horse. Get away from defenders in a split second. Either Fritz offside, perhaps?
What kind of horse is it? Appaloosa? Quarter horse? Tennessee walking horse?
One of those fancy ones from Spain.
Ah, yes.
Can't think of the name. It's probably not going to come to me either.
Let me know when it returns to you.
I'm not going to cheat.
Jordan Chavez, sturdy veteran presence at the back. Easily the most tenured USL 1 player in the squad, and he has defending to do. Deshane Beckford rolls in and flicked wide of stick. It was a slicing run from Rodrigo Robles. He does not have the deftness in his final action.
Yeah, It's a tough one for Robles because he's coming towards the near post and this ball's hit at the angle where he just had to get just the slightest of touches was all it really needed. And sometimes those are the most difficult ones to finish when all it needs is a deft touch and just too much on it there from Robles. But exciting stuff down this right side from Beckford once again.
Greenville contesting every inch. Pressing and winning the ball higher, winning second balls was the point of emphasis in training and preparation for this game. And so far, Greenville are passing that test.
It's been an impressive start for the home team. Just that half chance from Spengler. All we've seen from the Cosmos so far.
Patrick Bowie. Aimed infield and plowed away.
Chance for the Cosmos to settle things down a little bit in the final third. But mostly transition chances so far.
Darren Sidwell, decorated player with time at Ajax's youth academy in his past. You'll hear that a lot throughout the course of the year. Easy to see why those flashes of technical quality already popping up and blooming in the first two games as Kofi is tied up and no call comes. Evan Lee on the break. Around him is Deshane Beckford. Beckford fluttering by one tackle. Beckford takes it on, it's blocked. He has been a nuisance for New York Cosmos in these first 15 minutes, Deshane Beckford.
Yeah, it turned Anderson Holt inside out. Luckily for Holt, coming across was Darren Sidhu. Did enough to get in the way, block that shot attempt. Yeah, Beckford finding acres of space here on this right side.
Patrick Segrist is the specialist for this kind of occasion. The long throw coming. Muscled in. Dangerously pushed into the box and bounced beyond frame. It looked like it was Connor Evans who took that on the half volley and left little to imagination.
Yeah, Connor Evans, certainly the most likely man you'd think to put that one on target. Caught it on the half volley, and that couldn't have been far away from Tristan Safani's left-hand post.
Would have been almost a perfect facsimile of the earlier goal scored by Brendan Fricke, who is the point of difference if you're just now joining us. Happened so early in the game, pretty easy to forget that it even took place at all.
I'll show you it again at halftime. You go on the socials and check it out, I'm sure by now.
About to say, you will see that goal again and again. It's almost as if Brendan Fricke didn't realize what he had done as a harsh collision comes to pass, and Rodrigo Robles and Osmir Spengler find themselves entangled with one another.
A head-to-head collision. Spengler not moving a ton other than that left foot. Now he's writhing a little bit. Two men not afraid of getting dirty in those 50-50 challenges. Let's take a look at it here. It's a nice turn. Robles certainly looked like he fouled it. You couldn't tell from that angle how much of a head-to-head contact there was. Both players appear to be okay. Spengler favoring that right leg a little bit.
Spengler back up to his feet. Injury stoppage presented by Upstate Spine and Sport. Fortunately, the stoppage was not too long.
Now we've seen Greenville attacking this right-hand side. It was where Spokane had so much success on Saturday night against Massimo Morabito, the 17-year-old. He's been moved over to the right fullback spot now, and it's Davey Mason getting the heat down on this left fullback spot. Here come the Cosmos.
Swaggering on, it's Patrick Bowie lining up Segrist all the way across the box. That's not the first time he's looked for that kind of service, and it's out for a corner. Yet to call the name of Sebastian Guenzati, who was the target for that particular delivery from Bowie. As decorated as they come at the USL Championship level, he was the talismanic signing for New York Cosmos, and they have yet to get him up and running. Maybe a chance to do that on this corner kick, provided by Osmir Spengler.
Looking for the head of Jordan Chavez, I would imagine, or Anderson Holt. Chavez Certainly the taller target on this Cosmos squad.
It's a mile-high ball, and Seth Torman will make short work of it. As you mentioned, part of the match starting today in place of Amal Knight, who is up on international duty with Jamaica as Davey Mason puts in a class tackle.
Yeah, big game tomorrow for the Reggae boys in Mexico against New Caledonia. We would expect Jamaica to pull out a win there, but we've expected so much from Jamaica over the last couple of decades and really haven't lived up to it. But awesome to see a Triumph player in the World Cup.
Down to Kofi, rounded by Mason. Kofi flies in across, strongly headed away by Fricky. Retained by Sidfull. Failing to keep it on is Christian Kofi, who has lived up to advertising in these first 20 minutes or so. Been plenty involved and active in the proceeding of the contest.
Yeah, Camilo Fritz will have his hands full in that spot. Dave Dixon well aware of what Kofi can do, I'm sure.
On the twist, a smooth ball in for Liotti. Azad Liotti fighting for the half yard to squeeze a shot away. Now deferring wide, late arriving, it's Patrick Segrist. Segrist has his cross plotted out, and it stays on. Moabito away. Only as far as Evan Lee. Puts in a stiff tackle, and off the back heel of Segrist, it's out for a throw.
I thought Azad Liotti should have done a little better with that half chance there. It's tough to tell sometimes from this lower angle at Stone Stadium, but it almost looked like if Liotti's first touch had gone ahead of him, he'd been able to run onto it.
That was the case with the opener, Ross. Saw Greenville go 1-0 up by way of Devin Boyce, and then Azad Liotti had a great breakaway chance to double the lead. Greenville were all over Chattanooga, but failed to cash in that momentum and got pegged back hard.
Yeah, Liotti with the new team obviously didn't play a ton of full games last year with the injury trouble. I figure if he finds that first goal, they might come in bunches. Just not playing on full confidence here just yet with his new squad.
Triumph fans, your next home match is Sunday, March 29th at 7 p.m. here at home at Stone Stadium. Your Greenville Triumph facing off against Westchester Soccer Club. Make sure to get your tickets now to secure the perfect way to end your weekend. You're green, rep your team. Haven't seen Westchester in this venue ever, but haven't seen them in South Carolina in quite some time. They were the opponent on the season opener last year, as there is a Greenville player down now. Looks like it's going to be Meek that's finding his feet again. Similar to as it was against Westchester, another New York club. It is the first meeting here today between New York Cosmos and Greenville Triumph, and it is off to a firecracker start. Brendan Fricky, a goal that will ring through the memory of Greenville Triumph fans for years to come. Made it 1-0 inside the 3rd minute of play. A couple half chances going both ways, but nothing to report after that. Lucas Meek once more hits the deck. Looks like he left something on Patrick Bowie as well.
Just a loose arm more than anything.
Segrist. Most of the action is exclusively taking place here on the near flank. Greenville don't make much progress on the far one. But now they are up and underway. It's Connor Evans. Infield for Robles, who rockets wide of target. It will be a goal kick. Up to restart play, and a good time to tell you the USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network, as well as ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com, USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Yeah, watched a couple of nice interviews that Golazo did with members of the Cosmos front office this week. Some great coverage from the national press. Of course, the name just brings that coverage naturally, right? Hopefully their
Anytime.
play will live up to that name. Likes of Pele, Beckenbauer.
Those guys.
Yeah, you might have heard of some of them.
Fricky puts the ball in harm's way as Kofi intercepting. It's Bowie in a soft spot. Guenzani around him. Ajmir Spengler settling, striking, and scoring. The Cosmos star strikes the pose, and it's 1-1.
Confident low finish from Spengler, just given far too much time and space inside the Greenville box. You see him just drifting behind Brandon Fricky. He forgot about him a little bit. Slide was just too late, right through the legs. Brandon Fricky brought back down to earth after that fine opener. Just exposed a little bit there. Can't lose track of that man in the penalty box.
It's classy stuff. Excellent first touch. Excellent finish. In a New York minute, it is level again. One apiece. Greenville supporters will be playing back what happened on match day 1.
Almost a little too easy. Cosmos carved up Greenville there in the final third. Concerns for Dave Dixon.
Liotti, first time. Marked along by Connor Evans and kept by Rodrigo Robles. Spengler scored against Greenville in South Carolina last year. He scores again this year. He's making it a happy habit. And they've been looking for that kind of impact from him. How do you think that changes the mood for Greenville now?
Still plenty of time in this first half. I don't think it changes, not late enough in the half to change Dave Dixon's halftime chat. A chance here for a set piece delivery from Connor Evans and a yellow card as well.
Justin Milovanov, the offender, and that's a cheaply given away free kick. And not only that, it will be a booking.
Cosmos players asking, this seems to be the first challenge, but it was from behind and certainly stopping a promising attack for the Triumph. So rightly a yellow card.
He was the man who scored last week against Spokane. Possibly a costly moment in this instance, though.
Yeah, on second look, perhaps a little harsh because Jordan Chavez was right there. And he left his feet in the final third. Always a risk. And see what Connor Evans does here.
Well within his range. He has had bounce in his stride throughout the course of this contest already. Target teasing him as he cues up this free kick. Delivering in at the near post. He's sent away by Sidville. Now it's with Lucas Meek, who flies into the back stick. Just scuffed away to Shane Beckford in a fight. One that he loses, but Guido Fritz will keep it.
Yeah, disappointing delivery on that set piece for Connor Evans. Just didn't seem committed to what delivery he wanted to do. And his targets were at the back post, near post, easily cleared away by Sidville.
Ponti uncontested. Should be said that the Cosmos have allowed the highest PPDA in the division this year, and what that stat basically entails is that they've allowed the most opponent passes before they've chosen to engage where the ball is of any team in the division.
Quite happy to sit in this mid-block. Guenzani just hang out a little bit up top. Not going to press a whole ton at his age.
Robles losing out. Did you enjoy Nerd Corner for the evening?
Listen, I love when you bring it to the broadcast. You might have to explain what the what was it again?
PPDA, passes per defensive action.
There you go. I know you love your stats and your graphics. You do a great job with it back there. Not just for our games, a lot of the games that we do around USL and WSL as well, Peyton.
Stats are good.
Especially these days, we get so many of them. Sometimes hard to figure out what to pick.
Never have these coaches and the encircling media had the tools that they have now to understand what's actually going on between the four lines, and maybe more importantly, why that is happening. Foul called, things starting to turn up in the intensity department. Triumph fans, this one's for you. Before or after the match, swing by Bridgeway Brewing Co., your local sports bar and hangout spot. Catch the action on 15 TVs. Enjoy great food, craft beer, bowling with your crew, and it is open 7 days a week. Plenty to enjoy at Bridgeway Brewing Company. Could be your match day spot to keep the energy going. Proud supporters of the Greenville Triumph. Eat, drink, bowl. Stay for a while.
We'll find some folk coming their way in June once the stadium gets opened. Haven't seen any pictures of it lately. I know things are coming along well. I've had a couple of winter storms push back the opening a month or so.
We did mention
now.
Urgency, though, at the top of the broadcast, in the stadium is kind of why, in a lot of ways. Greenville will want to be in a position where they can be a big-time attraction when they open that venue up. Be in a position where they are competing for something serious in the division.
No doubt about it. Beautiful venue from all the renderings we've seen. May not be fully open in June, but certainly by the end of the campaign, you'd have to think. Especially if the summer is nice in Greenville, which it normally is.
Kofi skipping away.
Other than the odd storm here and there, which we've dealt with over the years.
Spangler, not incisive enough. Away by Segrist.
Good work tracking back there by Patrick Segrist, taking this left back spot. Certainly for his own for now. Tyler Polak relegated to the bench, where he certainly hasn't spent much time in his Greenville career, but happy to see that he will get to see that stadium open obviously every year. We're wondering if these veterans will return for the Triumph, the core.
Kofi goes for it. It didn't seem to trouble Seth Torman too much.
Dave Dixon talked about that with us before the first game of the season, how happy he was that the veteran crew will get to play in the new park.
Fricky. Finally closed by Christian Kofi.
One thing Dave Dixon mentioned to us this week was he wants to see less time between moments. Get to that in a second.
Spangler taking on all comers and taking down everything, being allowed to slide by the center official. Saw the collision with Fricky to start that move, and comes to a close with similar controversy in the call.
A great lunging challenge there by Anthony Patti. Dave Dixon said he wanted to see less time between moments. We haven't seen much since that Brandon Fricky goal. Rodrigo Robles with a couple of half chances that he perhaps should have done a little better with here in these first 33 minutes. We talked about attacking midfield last week, central midfield. Lucas Meek getting tried there tonight. Saw him wide in the first game of the season on the left side. Obviously, Champa Herrera being out means Connor Evans is pinned a little further back in this setup.
Seems as if Kofi has drifted infield, losing out there. So too Sebastian Guinzotti. And away is Connor Evans, who spies the run down the far side, down by Deshane Beckford. Sprinting at Moabito and right by him. Could not undo the tackle of Chavez, though.
Yeah, Chavez, a big unit to get by. He wasn't moving there, just planted his feet and made Deshane Beckford try to go around him and didn't succeed.
As mentioned previous, the by far most experienced USL League One player in this group. 84 appearances in the division coming into this year. Only 210 total on the roster. Most of them by players who were at Texoma last year, one of them being Davey Mason, the other being the goal scorer for Cosmos on the day, Osmir Spengler. Something to take out of the air for Deshane Beckford.
Jordan Chavez, another late arrival, late signing by the Cosmos, trying to get that center back pairing going with Anderson. Oh, that's going to be a foul on Fritz.
Referee just wants a point of clarification. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Select's there for you in this passage of play as well, as the tackle comes in and foul is called. You can visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, player's choice. It will be that very same Select match ball that is used as a weapon to threaten Greenville triumph with this set-piece delivery.
Ticky-tack fouls racking up a little bit here, last 10 minutes or so. Spengler with that left foot, looking to deliver this one. Someone just in front of the penalty spot makes Seth Tolman think about it. Seth Tolman did get that cup start in preparation of this start because Dave Dixon knew Lamar Knight would be gone.
In by Spengler. Torman hemmed in. Segrist knocks it off course, and it will be a corner kick to come.
Yeah, a little too much on that one from Spengler. Looking for a hole at the back post. Couldn't get enough on it to knock it back into the center. Second corner of the night for the Cosmos, none for Greenville so far. Definitely these early stats stand out. Just one shot on target for each team, and they've both gone in.
Spengler already has authored a goal. Might he inscribe another contribution here? Bending towards the corner, Torman maybe just got a piece of it. Another dangerous delivery from Osmir Spengler.
And that ball had some whip on it. Anthony Patti and Torman both going for that ball at the same time. Perhaps a slight communication issue. Somebody got enough of it, that's all that matters.
No-look ball into the path of the oncoming Sebastian Guenzati. Guenzati's in, the flag is up. He's denied anyway. Looks like Torman might be paying a bit of a price.
It's gonna need a second.
I think they may have caught him in an uncomfortable region.
They'll say he came out and made himself big, and as a result, took it where it hurts. Guenzati finding that soft spot in the channel. It wasn't offside by much, I don't think. Perhaps we'll get another look at it here. Maybe half a yard. Freaky was back there too. Patti as well.
And away we go. Things have quieted down considerably over the last 15 to 20 minutes. It feels like Cosmos are getting a grip for the game.
And they've certainly taken a grip of it in the midfield.
That's risky from Patrick Segrist, and it won't stick.
He was out of position.
Sidvold roping wide for Kofi. Up amongst it again, and running at Fritz, and running by Fritz, and running into Connor Evans. Torment, plenty of time to arrive on the scene.
Yeah, Davey Mason, you see that was asking it to feet. Wasn't expecting to have to run onto that as a fullback.
Another scary moment for Patrick Segrist. Spengler picking up the pieces. He's chopped down by Connor Evans, who's pleading his case to evade a booking.
Yeah, Spengler knew what he was doing there. Cosmos turning up the pressure here in this final third, pressing a lot more than they were earlier in this half. Causing loose first touches from the home team. Fricky pleading his case. Referee saying it was too much contact from behind.
This is within hitting distance. Would not put it past either Ajmer Spangler or Darren Sidville.
I've seen videos of Darren Sidville striking ones from perhaps not quite this far out, but he's got a hammer right foot.
He's got his shoulders back and his chest out. Two dangerous men casting long shadows. A moment of piercing pertinence for Greenville triumph out of the half. Spangler, never a chance. Greenville fans, don't miss your chance to rep Greenville Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.shopgreenvilletriumph.com to gear up with the latest official merch, from kits to scarves to hats and more. Whether you're cheering in the stands or watching at home, show everyone who you support. Get your merch today. Wear your green with pride.
Yeah, went with the hoops, the full hoops for the first time. Greenville this season. They've had horizontal stripe previously, or is it a vertical stripe, I remember correctly.
You ever wonder who decided that this pattern would be called hoops?
That's a good, valid question.
We'll get the research team on it.
Who's your favorite hoops team, Peyton?
Put me on the spot. I would say the U.S. if they count. Waldo Kit, right? Doing it again this summer.
Yeah, slightly different version, but yes, I do like it, the flag look.
I feel like that should be my default answer.
Being from London, I always think of Queen's Park Rangers as being my first hoop team that I knew of. Celtic, obviously, as well.
Abdel Tarapt, the streets still have not forgotten.
What a talent he was for a while, for a little while.
Pierced the head by Fricky. Second ball is won by Robles, who's had a quiet evening. Kofi looks up and locates Spangler. Those two have had a nice chemistry so far, not taking any chances there as Brendan Fricky.
Greenville just unable to maintain any lengthy periods of possession. Cosmo's doing a good job of closing down, forcing Greenville to make quicker decisions. Far too much space in that first 10 minutes or so.
Morbito.
Yeah, he's looked a lot more comfortable tonight on that right side, more of his natural position than he was on the left on Saturday against Spokane. Picked on him over and over again, the teenager.
From Philadelphia, hard-nosed by design.
Yeah, this management group really focused on bringing in local talent, not just from the northeast, from New York, but the northeast area in general.
A lot of youth as well, getting their first taste of serious experience, whether it's teenagers that are coming out of MLS Next Pro or even taking their first turn up at the professional level. Post-collegiate players. As mentioned previous, there just isn't a lot of USL 1 experience, not only in the squad, but in the staff as well. So there was always going to be a feeling out period. Not a pyramid.
It's always interesting to see how the new teams put themselves together. We'll call it, over the years, we've seen teams go with more League One players. We've seen some teams bring in more championship players. Other teams going with the youth, like Cosmos are doing.
Speaking of putting things together, is Connor Evans putting one right on a plate for Liotti, who goes across goal. It was fizzy, and it's still on. Chipped along, Segrist. Off the hop, it comes down in a dangerous spot for Connor Evans, who is trampled over, and no call comes. Fritz wins it, but only for a second, and now there is real trouble afoot. And it comes by the name of Christian Kofi. Kofi rounding in. Laid off, Bowie got nothing more than a nibble. Looked like Kofi was shaping his body to try to target himself.
Crucial challenge there by Connor Evans.
Liotti is cut down from behind. Oh, another harsh tackle, another harsh tackle. The referee not interested in any of it.
He's certainly letting things go, but you run the risk when you do that of something real nasty coming in.
3 sharp collisions coming in quick succession. Dave Dixon watches on and maybe simmers a bit from his own bench. Lucas Meek flashing forward and forcing some reaction out of Anderson Holt. It's a throw-in for Greenville. Final 30 seconds of this first half, a half that saw Greenville climb ahead within the first 120 seconds of the game effectively. Cosmos were able to bounce back by way of Osmir Spangler. That has us at 1-1 here in the upstate. Roble spotting off his man in for Evan Lee. Softening first touch, but nowhere to go. Sidvold, Kofi again. Pirouette and passes right on by Cremito Fritz. And there's space out on the far flank.
Another big challenge by Jordan Chavez. He's had a huge first half at the back for the Cosmos.
Into stoppage time now. 2 minutes to be precise. Down goes Robles, he just grabs the ball. He wants to go fast, the referee having none of it. This is stoppage time presented by GE Vernova. Greenville, maybe a chance to learn a lesson from how things went in their opener against Chattanooga, where the Red Wolves tied things up just out of the break. Hoisted down to Shane Beckford, who takes it in, and now Fritz. And Fricky. And Stefani.
It's been a bit frustrating for Greenville. Just a little aimless, trying to figure out how to get back to where they were at the beginning of this half. Cosmos have looked the better team, I would say, for the last 20 minutes or so. Dixon, there's certainly some things to think about during the break. Did make a lot of changes for that Asheville City game last Wednesday. Dave Dixon said training was good since then. He said he put guys in tough positions in that game with the rotation, especially in positions as well.
Final actions of the first frame, and it will go quietly. Goal kick, halftime. 1-1. Lost Devonport, pick it apart.
Still plenty to play for in the second half. It's going to be control of the midfield is going to be the key. Greenville started the better side in that department, but Cosmos worked their way back into it. Moved that midfield up the field, got a lot of press going. And that man with the game-tying goal.
Osmir Spangler turns what was a smiley spring evening in Greenville into a more grid-blocked expression. It was a great goal to start us off from Brendan Fricky, the captain. But Osmir Spangler with a bit of sparkle as he slashed home the equalizer, and that has us with much to think about at half. The Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report coming up.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we're proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do. And our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
When I was in high school, my coach liked to say, You don't rise to low expectations. And that's just always stuck with me. With the help of my lottery-funded life scholarship, I was able to get a degree in secondary education. Now it's my turn to invest in my athletes, the same way my coaches did for me. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll do the same for someone else.
Better coaches means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
We find you in the interlude. The Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. It sits 1-1. Plenty of thrilling action in that first 45. That was the case around the division. As we take a look at the team of the week, Ross Davenport, the key performers in the USL League One, and you're going to see a lot of Owls involved. Big start to the year for Union Omaha.
Yeah, I think as we all expected, Omaha coming out the gate quickly, had that monster US Open Cup win midweek, scoring, I think, a touchdown and the two-point conversion, and then holding off a feisty Boise side this past weekend as well.
A couple of Spokane Velocity players as well earning their keep up against these very same New York Cosmos. Nico Brett still doing it his ripe old age.
Yeah, Siobhan John Brown was very impressive as well in that win over the Cosmos. Had a number of chances.
Manager being Vincenzo Candela, young manager in the division, doing his thing, and has the Owls flying at the outset. We set to step aside. More to come here at the Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. Don't go anywhere.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kind of everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
USL League One kicks off. Players shield winners. He does it again. Their first ever goal in Clement Gray.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
The Upstate Spine Sport halftime report. A lot of sorting out to do between Greenville Triumph and New York Cosmos. As for what we saw at the weekend, these scores from around the division. These are brought to you by Jeans Tours and Charters. And as we charter away around the USL League One, we told you Union Omaha got that big result over AC Boise. 3 goals for them, the offense coming in spades.
Yeah, I like the point that Corpus Christi got at defending champs. 1 Knox and Boise putting up a fight at Omaha. Not too many teams do that.
How about FC Naples largely remodeling the squad and just picking up points exactly where they left off?
Love those 3 points on the road.
Much more to unfold over the course of the season, but some teams certainly starting to set the pace a little bit in the division. As for what Greenville will need to do in order to get amongst those wins and get those points flowing back in. Up next, as we told you, it will be Westchester SC, and then coming to town is the Brinks Tires USL Cup. Excited for that one. They will see Pittsburgh, the reigning USL Championship champions, in the near-handed horizon in that tournament.
Yeah, love for them to pick up some points before that long break in the second half of April.
As for what is to come for the New York Cosmos, it will be a homestand for them. All 4 of their next 4 games will be at their home stadium, including their Prince Cup tie against Brooklyn FC. That's not pictured on the screen, but a chance to maybe get some momentum going here if they can get something on the road today.
Yeah, I'd love to see the home fans packing Hinchliff there in Patterson, New Jersey. If you can't.
As for what is soon to come and what is going on around the division, Dan Lucas, USL headquarters, has more on all the happenings USL.
It is halftime in USL League One. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines from the week. Union Omaha's home opener in Week 3 was memorable for forward Diego Gutierrez, who scored twice in a 3-2 win over AC Boise. Gutierrez joined Union Omaha before this season, returning to the field where he played his college soccer at Creighton University. And in his 100th League One appearance, midfielder Luis Gil, the former U.S. national team player, scored a goal in a 3-1 win over the New York Cosmos, the first ever 2-0 start for Spokane. League One made some noise in round 1 of the U.S. Open Cup, sending 7 clubs into the second round. And some intriguing regional matchups against USL Championship competition. Charlotte Independence will face Charleston Battery, while the Richmond Kickers host Loudoun United. Upcoming matches to watch in the championship. Saturday, April 4th, big battle atop the Eastern Conference. Louisville City hosting Charleston Battery. Saturday, April 18th, Charleston back on CBS SN hosting Tampa Bay Rowdies. And then the Brinks Tires USL Cup on April 25th. Hartford Athletic hosts rival Rhode Island on CBS SN. This is the USL halftime update. We're getting close to the second half. Let's send you back to your match.
Soy María, una de las asistentes que habla español aquí en Johnston Orthodontics. Estamos listos para brindarle un servicio excepcional y estar con usted en cada paso de su viaje dental. Llámanos y programa tu cita hoy.
Turf grass management is not just guys going out and cutting grass and putting bases down. There's so much more to it. Major League Baseball has made a substantial increase in the standards that all ball clubs should have. And a piece of it is you have to be a graduate of a 2 or 4 year turf grass management program. Having the Life Scholarship made that possible for me.
Job readiness means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Welcome to Wood Creek Dental, where dental care is a family tradition. For over 40 years, we are proud to be a family-owned practice serving the community of Greenville, South Carolina. At Wood Creek Dental, we believe in quality care and exceptional service. Our experienced dentists and dedicated staff are committed to your oral health. We've invested in modern technology and have created a relaxing atmosphere for your comfort and peace of mind. We prioritize your experience in our calm and caring atmosphere. Our commitment to providing you and your family with exceptional service is at the heart of everything we do. And our patient-centered approach builds relationships based on trust and confidence. Experience the difference for yourself. Wood Creek Dental. Dental care from our family to yours.
Second half coming closer and closer here in South Carolina. 1-1 here at the break as Greenville and New York Cosmos desperately in need of all 3 points in the early going this year. And as we arrive at this point, this is how we got there. And it was immediately Brendan Fricke putting everybody on notice with what might be the best strike by a center back in league history.
There's only 3 shots to target in the first half. This was the first one of them, and what a strike it was by Brendan Fricke.
Well, that goal was all power and prowess. This was much more about poise and precision. Ajmir Spangler leveling things 20 minutes later.
Yeah, trying back line, just caught backpedaling a little bit, ball watching. Spangler with too much space in that channel there, and a good composed finish as you would expect from a man of his talent.
Garrett's halftime stats, and this is what the picture tells. Cosmos felt like the more dangerous team for the back 30 minutes of that period of play that we just saw.
Yeah, no doubt. Rodrigo Robles had a couple of half chances that he perhaps should have done better with. But other than the 2 goals, well, not a ton of quality opportunities for either side. We'll see if things change here after the break.
Triumph have lacked that je ne sais quoi, if you will, that spark of inspiration in the final phase of play. Will they find it now in this next 45? A question that we will have answered very shortly as we step back out to the live proceedings here at Stone Stadium on the campus of Furman University, with much to reveal itself. New York Cosmos looking for their first victory back in the professional ranks and in the USL League One. Greenville hoping to have that first 3 points for Dave Dixon after a pair of defeats in the Open Cup and in the league opener against Chattanooga.
Greenville certainly missing the presence of Devin Boyce tonight. Dave Dixon mentioned he was the first player he went after when he got the job, so you know he's an important cog in his plans. Missing tonight due to a minor injury, should be back Sunday, said Dixon. See if any changes for either side. Zandiati, a bit of an anonymous first half, had that one early chance. The ball was played through to it and looked like he should have done a little better. Didn't do a ton after that. Still seeking their identity in the final third a little bit.
Of course, Greenville still waiting on William Accio to turn up too as they try and get his visa cleared.
Yeah, the first sort of other signing other than Devin Boyce, and he hasn't been able to get cleared. Here's a look at Davide Corti.
One of several Davides in a very Italian-influenced outfit here for New York Cosmos. Dave Dixon, who's always been excited to meet the task every time we've gotten the chance to talk to him. You got the sense that coming into this game, maybe he was putting a little bit of pressure on himself to figure out the answer and get Greenville that first victory of the year.
Yeah, he said this was almost still preseason continuing because that's such a weird preseason. Didn't have anything scheduled when he took the job. It's obviously hard sometimes when you're getting late to the game to get these games scheduled when you want. He said he really didn't have a full week of training until right before the first game of the season. And missing players due to injury as well as visas, as we've talked about. See what they can get going here in the second half from Stone Stadium.
Now, those on the field for the Triumph, is there a man that you pick out, Ross, in particular and say to yourself, that's the guy that might be able to lend the inspiration here in this half? That's who they should look to.
I think Rodrigo Robles was the most dangerous in the final third. He found himself in positions, got the balls, just couldn't finish it off. He was all over the place, as is with Rodrigo Robles, left, right, center. You never know where you're going to find him. I think Dave Dixon will be happy as long as he's around the ball. He's mentioned to us in our 2 chats already how important he is going to be to the success of this team. He's had that one chance where if he just got a bit of a lighter touch, it might have directed it past Tristan Stefani. Cosmos are a brand new side. Greenville almost a brand new team as well. A ton of new talent coming in here tonight, especially.
Conducting in. The aforementioned Rodrigo Robles stepping on the ball. In chorus with Connor Evans. Threaded through to Robles and Evans again. In by Evans. At the back post, it was there. Looked like Patti who was popping up.
Anthony Patti in a strange spot. We should talk to Rick Wright about Rodrigo Robles. He's one of these guys that he's so unpredictable, and sometimes it's frustrating for his teammates because you don't know where he's going to be and when.
I gotta imagine that's also duly true, though, for defenders.
Yes. Zandiati's got to get more involved here as the central role. Mentioned other than early chance, didn't do a ton. Now here come Cosmos.
Speaking of involved, Christian Kofi on it again with the back heel. Lifted in by Mason. And lifted too strongly, in fact. Goal kick. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Speaking of Zandiati, we talked to Dave Dixon about him. He's been very impressed with his hold-up play. We haven't really seen it much tonight as a target guy. So one of those guys in his USL history that's shown moments of periods of brilliance and then just disappears at times. Trouble with injuries, as mentioned last season. Dave Dixon said really wants him sneaking onto that back shoulder. Here he is out wide now.
He does have 19 touches in the game, but hardly any of them coming in the box. And as he rounds the corner, he's brought down for a foul. Heard plenty from Stephen Perry throughout the course of the first half. And it seems that we will have much of the same at the outstart here.
I think he got a little lucky here. I think he pulled down Marabito. He did and hooked him. The referee had to call something. Zandiati was very, very lucky there to get away with that decision, and we'll see if Greenville can capitalize.
So it belongs to Connor Evans as the sun dips behind the trees and the floodlights come shining down. In by Evans, just hooked away. The goalkeeper found himself impacted at the point of arrival. And it's Patti again up amongst it.
That was a lovely ball in by Evans. Had the pace and direction. Forced Stefani to come off his line. Take another look at this one. Patti just a little clumsily into him. Let's take a look here. Stefani committed late. I'm not sure if Anthony Patti could do much about that. Almost seemed like Stefani went into the back of him. Patti's back was facing the goalkeeper. Perhaps the make-up call for that foul just before.
One thing is for sure, if Stefani does not make the intervention there, that ball is in the back of the net.
And he had a big second half on Saturday as well against Spokane. You mentioned Cosmos being unlucky so far this season. They really should have come away with more than no points in that game. It could easily have been 3-3.
Another quick whistle. But to your point, it is true. We've not seen Cosmos generate the finishing touch that maybe has been requisite to consistently get results in this league. But they have generated some chances, and they have been unlucky on the defensive end.
Yeah, that Stefani penalty he gave away on Saturday was a little silly. Just made a decision too late. Speaking of decisions, looks like he's limping still a little bit coming to that ball. Did enough, though. Spengler.
Ball got stuck beneath the feet of the Cosmos player. Morbito ranging forward, and it was Bowie that didn't quite have the brightest idea in that moment. Cosmos pressing with a high degree of aggression, for lack of a better term.
It took him a while to settle into that pattern. He certainly did it very effectively in the second half of that first half, and now continuing it as well. Pin Greenville back here. Another whistle.
The fourth foul called in the first 5 minutes of this half. I think this might just be the center official trying to set the bar going forward. Ben Reigel and Nicholas Lopez running the lines today. Islin Pexanar is the fourth official. Bowie scrapes beneath his studs, out for a throw. Segrist. Greenville just searching for any kind of sense of rhythm and tempo. Off the head of Kofi. More off the head of Kofi, and now Evan Lee ducks out of danger. That was nifty from him. A little bit of sly cunning from the old veteran. And away go Greenville. Lucas Meek poked forward for Robles, who puts a leash to the ball and goes for goal. It's blocked on the way there. Jordan Chavez, not sure he knew anything about it, and it's out for a corner.
Yep, Chavez in the right place at the right time. Sometimes all you need to be as a center back. Ezra White picks the ball down for the corner, helping his teammates out.
It is a Bridgeway Brewing Company corner kick. Taken short, looking for a better angle is Connor Evans. Robles having a think. Rolled in at the back post. Scuttled away. It's another corner.
Yeah, Rodrigo Robles in the way of Connor Evans. I think he was trying to whip that left-footed ball in. Robles got in the way. There's nobody making that diagonal run towards the front post, so Evans had to go deep. Ended up earning the corner.
Bridgeway Brewing Company corner. Trying to drink in the opportunity is Connor Evans with an outswinging effort. Robles is the short man. Splashing into the heart of the area. Knocked down by Liotti. Second try, fizzed wide. Arriving fashionably late there was Rodrigo Robles, but he's misguided in the effort.
Yeah, he was just trying to hammer it. The angle was going to be difficult to beat Tristan Stefani. He was just trying to smash it into the middle, hoping to hit somebody, and went in. Ended up going wide.
Mobito. Green grass.
Does love to get forward, does Marbito. Cost him a few times, a little bit last game.
Running hard to contest the ball is Hassan Liotti. Thrust away by Stefani.
As a left back, he had 3 touches in the box on Saturday and then a .49 XG on his own.
It's not too shabby.
For a 17-year-old especially.
He's got work to do. Splitting defenders is Robles. Everything but the finish.
And it's been that kind of night for the Spaniard as he looks to the skies.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC and the Sirius XM app. Got to hear Dave Dixon on that program a couple weeks ago.
Did. It was a good little chat with the boys.
Mike and Devin, always as good a steward as the league could hope for. Swashbuckling switch in for Bowie. Mobito and Bowie again. Just biteless.
Yeah, it's almost like a preseason camera. Both teams looking very disjointed in the final third, scuffing any half chances they've gotten. Neither keeper has had a ton to do. They'll pick the ball out the net a couple of times. I feel one more goal would certainly open things up in this one. Depends when it's going to come. And obviously we talked about Cosmos, the busy schedule this week. It might be first to go to the bench.
Some fancy footwork from Meek. Sidvul and fell.
See any movement just yet from the Greenville bench. You saw some guys warming up a little bit ago.
I would say the fact that, just looking at Ivan Ajacqua, seeing that his shirt's tucked in, that might be an indication that he's coming on, but the reality is the shirt is always tucked.
I was going to say.
Here's Brendan Fricke. He's got reason for audacity, having scored the lone goal for Greenville. Liotti opening up. And at full gate to get round him is Segrist. Advantage being played. Connor Evans at the controls. Whipping wide to Shane Beckford. He's lost the plot a bit, but kept on with things. Really blew a tire a second time. Golfed in by Evans, out by Chavez.
Yeah, Cosmos with a good job there of getting bodies behind the ball quickly. They had 10 back there. Very swiftly. Stifle that chance for Greenville.
Just the faintest flashes of intention with the ball for the Triumph as they go again. Calculating through the gears and lifting it across. Fumbled away, off the line, and batted back in. A constellation of disaster for Cosmos. And Greenville go ahead 2-1.
Yeah, it felt like this game was either going to have a big error or another moment of brilliance like Pricky's, and the error comes first. Tristan Stefani with the fumble. Not under any pressure. We'll take another look at it here. Ball played through here by Evans. Beckford with the cross. That's not good at all from Stefani. Falls to the feet of Zagliati. Greenville with the 2-1 lead.
That will almost assuredly be classed an own goal as it came off the ricochet, off the woodwork from Zagliati. Greenville will collect it all the same. How they needed that. It is a YMCA of Greenville goal. And it is what separates the sides. Back to the drawing board for New York Cosmos.
Yeah, Tristan Stefani, I think, was a surprise to many that he started the season as the starter over Derek Chan. He's a lot more experience. Stefani, the rookie, has 2 mistakes in the space of 2 games. We may see a change on the weekend.
Kofi's in behind, but the flag is lifted. That is now, over the course of their first 3 games, 8 goals conceded for New York Cosmos.
And that one may have been the worst one. Stefani under no pressure whatsoever. You can't drop the ball in that position without any pressure on you.
It looks like they might get the bailout with Leotti not being able to provide that clinical edge in front of goal in the moment of opportunity. Just came straight into the backside of Chavez, though. Looks like Ezra White is in the mix and about ready to come on as Kofi gets busy in the box. Kofi in search of space. Bowie, it's blocked on the way by Evan Lee. Took that one straight to the temple at point blank and didn't even flinch. Corner kick.
Kofi asking for more. Not going to get it this time.
Is he pleading for a handball?
Not sure what he was asking about.
It is a corner. Darren Sidville. Cosmos have to stiffen the lip. Down the goal now. Find a way back.
Keep an eye on Chavez and Lee here. Penalty spot.
Torment has the reading and makes short work of it.
The delivery we're looking for.
Triumph fans, your next home match is Sunday, March 29th at 7 p.m. here at Stone Stadium. Your Greenville Triumph will be facing off against Westchester Soccer Club. Make sure to get your tickets now. Secure the perfect way to end your weekend. Wear your green, rep our team. Ross, you and I will be tucked in for that.
Yes, we will. Sunday night football.
Evan Lee snuffs it out. Seth Torment, a dangerous ball that Robles has fumbled away. With a bit of sparkle, it's Bowie.
Might go out for a throw. Maybe not quite.
Well, it was stylish the way that he opened himself up for the shot. Less said about the end product, the better, and Ezra White will come on. Dave Dixon glowing in his praise of the young rookie, who they have asked to do something that's a little bit foreign to him and play further upfield. Was a holding midfielder by trade in college, but South Carolinian by nature, South Carolinian by colors, represents Greenville Triumph in the final phase. Day is done for Rodrigo Robles, and it should play in the mind that in the case of Robles, not much of a preseason to speak of as he arrived in camp late. Maybe managing his minutes as he comes out precisely at the hour mark.
It looks like he may get the opportunity here to play a little further forward. Ezra White coming in forward to Shane Beckford. I assume Lucas Meek going back out wide, and he's there on the right-hand side.
Excuse me, you're correct. Robles will remain on. Centrally for Evan Lee. And Robles in the pocket. Robles going for goal, and he has it! It's helped by a deflection, but in a blink, Greenville. Mean business in their home ground, 3-1.
He's been unlucky on a few half chances in the first hour. Robles just keeping at it, just as any good forward will do. Nice little jink inside here to open things up. Cosmos unlucky again. Peyton, as this one comes off the leg of Marabito, and loops over Tristan Stefani for the third goal.
Goalkeeper stranded.
Should be hit Marabito or Chavez, but either way, nothing really Stefani could do there with a top spin on that one. He's always in trouble from the moment it hit his teammate.
And they will count that for Rodrigo Robles, who opens his account in 2026. It took him quite a bit of time to get going last year. Didn't score in the first 9 games of the regular season. It only takes him less than 2 here to make a mark in 2026. It is a YMCA of Greenville goal for the Triumph and Rodrigo Robles. Jordan Chavez is down.
Undercut by Azad Liadi. The old Harry Kane move. Trying to earn the foul yourself, but that was too obvious. Chavez back on his feet. Good to see. That was a nasty landing.
Are we taking umbrage with Harry Kane?
I'm not. He's just always the master of earning those fouls with the undercut.
Ross is all gone pear-shaped for Cosmos. Once more, just unlucky it feels in the moment.
Yep, 3 goals allowed again. Not going to win too many games in this league, giving that amount of goals per game.
Unfortunately for the Cosmos, the one they see now is a familiar scoreline at 3-1. Plenty of time for a rebuttal, though.
Remember, they did travel back from the West Coast after going to Spokane. That'll take some legs out of you as well. We'll see how the second half goes along. Point Davide Corti thinks about Saturday's contest against fellow newcomers Fort Wayne. Oof.
Bit of skill there on the far flank, and results in nothing more than a throw-in. Back, taken too quickly.
Not happy with the decision.
Did see Julian Locker come on and have big influence in the second half against Spokane as an attacking option. Curious to see when Davide Corti might call upon the youngster, the 19-year-old.
It's an interesting decision. Do you perhaps save him for Saturday? 3-1 down at this point. Give him a run, perhaps. Could still start.
Left Fort Wayne. Wide by Liati, in by Meek. This time it is caught clean.
Still looks a little uncertain though to Tristan Stefani. Once you drop one of them, the rest of them in the game will feel a little weird.
It's almost as if once you know that you can bleed, you might be a little bit more interested in protecting yourself as excellent tackle comes in the way of Brendan Fricke, who's had himself a night.
He was a little at fault for that first goal, but he's been, sorry, the only Cosmos goal, but he's bailed himself out with that first goal. His teammates have helped him as well.
Robles. Devious intent, delightful results, and Connor Evans is crashing one in for Segrist now. Calvary arriving at the top of the box. And it's White that wings it wide.
This is the first time we've seen Patrick Segrist get deep. Ezra White there. The channel just couldn't direct it on target.
That was a point of discourse, though, when we talked to Dave Dixon preparing for this match, as Cosmos diced with a bit of danger in the build-up. We saw the flashes in the first game for Greenville, and so did Dave Dixon. Nothing that really took for large swaths of the game against Chattanooga. Same story here tonight. Ball bounces in their way a little bit, and the value maybe of just a couple of things of luck coming your way for Greenville could be immeasurable.
Yeah, so things all tend to even out in the end when it comes to luck right over a season. Dixon just want to get that 3 points, the first 3 points under the belt, always the most important. We talked to Dave Dixon about Ezra White. He's phenomenal. We obviously started both the first 2 games for Greenville on a short-term contract. So he had a phenomenal work rate. I mentioned him playing higher in college than he did here in the first couple of games. Getting a roll up higher tonight, though. See what he can do with it. A chance there, at least.
Another nutmeg. Things unlocking a bit for Christian Kofi. Referee is given nothing more than a shrug. It looked like it may have come off the hand of Chavez, certainly came off the midriff, and it's out for a throw. Sadly, Adi has gone for a bit of a slide.
The old needless. He's lost his footing, I think.
I think the kids call that slide canceling.
He made it look casual, though.
He's got to be happy.
Still 20 minutes, though, to secure this one. They'd love a fourth, I'm sure. Cosmos can get one back. It'll make things interesting.
We implore you to remember which league you are taking in.
It is a weeknight game. Sometimes these League One weeknight games have a tendency to be a little chaotic.
That being said, great atmosphere again here tonight at Stone Stadium.
Yeah, it's hard to, you can't always see because the near side has the majority of the fans, but making a ton of noise. Hear that on the mics.
That's useful. Spread away by Sidvold. Connor Evans. A little recourse, but to just blindly play it into the box, and that will be short work once more for the goalkeeper. Guanzati hardly called his name, but he angles in a line-splitting ball for Bowie. Putting Segrist in his crosshairs, and now Spangler. Kofi receiving. Met by Fricky. Christian Kofi, it's blocked. It will be a corner.
Corner kick, New York.
As you can see from the score, it'll be the third corner kick. Davide Corti ready to make a number of changes. Next step ball.
Could be a very different game that they enter if Oshmir Spangler has some imagination. It's a good ball. It comes all the way through and falls out of play without any harm being done.
Justin Milovanov perhaps got a little shove from Meek, flying through the penalty box. No real complaints, though.
Don't miss your chance to rep Greenville Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.shopgreenvilletriumph.com to gear up with the latest official team merch. From kits to scarves to hats and more. Whether you're cheering in the stands or watching at home, show everyone who you support. Get your merch today. Wear your green with pride. And now it's after St. Patrick's Day, so nobody will make any mistake of why you're doing that.
So Greenville also preparing a substitution. Perhaps? No, it's going to be Ivan Ajako coming on.
Sorting out his collar as we speak.
I'm not going to guess where he'll go in for, because he can play absolutely anywhere. Big physical presence.
And he'll be comfortable. This was his home stadium in college playing at Furman.
And it Did miss the first game of the season due to a suspension. Sent off in the last game of last season.
Liotti hot-footing it into the press. Ezra White gets a poke. Intercepted by Connor Evans, but unable to keep a corral on it is Rodrigo Robles, and out for a throw, and looks like we're in for a pretty hefty amount of accounting coming up here with the amount of substitutions on tap. Saw the entire bench empty for Cosmos as the easy part. We can tell you Ivan Ajakwa will replace Evan Lee, likely in midfield. Could be a shift to a back three to see it out, though.
Looks like he'll just slot in there where Evan Lee was. We saw him play a bit there last year. Also saw him play up top, the back. Swiss Army knife for Greenville, back for his second season. I guess the Cosmos not quite ready yet.
Just at a glance, it looks like Julian Locker, Nick Solanka, who did start the first two games out wide for the Cosmos. Nestor Cabrera, and it will be a debut for Will Noker, who is a late addition to the squad ahead of this game.
So all five at once there. We had a fifth as well. Complete line change. And we've got those substitutions now. Looks like.
Noker finishing his collegiate career in the Carolinas with NC State. Nicholas Mendonca will be the final substitution made. Davide Corti.
If you don't watch anything the rest of this match, keep an eye on this man coming on here. Julian Locker completely changed that game on Saturday with his pace. Ability to take on players. Very exciting young talent.
Made his debut in that match, playing out the second half. Finished last year on a tear. 9 goal contributions in his final 9 appearances. You were taken by him in his performance against Spokane, Julian Locker.
He's one of those, been around this league enough, you see these guys just come on and make an immediate impact. Just he was so defensive in that first half from the Cosmos, and then he came on in the second half and just everybody started going downhill on the attacking side of things. Tilted the pitch completely in a matter of minutes.
Number 18, Christian Kofi. Number 22,
Seth Torman.
Ange Bui. Number 2, Massimo Borodito.
Jacqua is playing in a more elevated role. He will scramble back instantly with that defensive instinct to cover, but no work coming for him as Greenville regained the ball up high. Liotti lingering wide, back in for Liotti. Trying to feint away from the marker. First involvement for Nestor Cabrera, and it will be a corner kick for Greenville.
Good strength from Liotti there, off the defender.
Chance for Connor Evans, who wrote plenty of records with his dead ball chance creation last year. Second most all-time in 2025 in the USL League One. Potentially put this one to bed. Ridgeway Brewing Company corner kick. Boomeranged in. Another decent ball, a head-to-head collision. It looked nasty as Anderson Holt rose, and it's still with Greenville. Knocked on. It fell free in the path of the oncoming Anthony Patti, but it's out for a goal kick. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. I'll tell you this, if you were playing eFootball and you were playing on the side of the Cosmos, you would have broken your controller with the poor twists of fate we have seen this evening, and it will be Anderson Holt illustrating that point quite eloquently there in the moment. Spread downfield, something to chase. Ball across the box, hit towards goal, off the bar, the rebound is there. The Cosmos drag one back as the flag stays down and it becomes 3-2. Nothing as it seems on a night in South Carolina.
Appeals for offside there. And the initial ball through to Zelanka. Another chaotic goal. His hand went up. Certainly not on the cross, but no call from the near side linesman. And now things are going to be a little interesting here.
Nicholas Mendonca, who had made a bit of a meal, if not a mess, of his first effort, is happy to head it home. Clean up for himself for his first goal for the Cosmos, and it is 3-2. Tension restored. Ezra White shielded from it by Anderson Holt.
Change this, make immediate impact for Davide Corti. The desired effect he wanted, maybe perhaps he didn't think to get it that quickly.
This will be a thorough examination of Greenville's grit. There's the engineer of that scoring moment, Zelanka. It looked like he was going to be asking some questions, but it escapes him, and it will be a throw-in for Greenville. Plenty of time here, though, for the Cosmos to conjure some imagination and find a way back into this.
Take control back of this game. Let's calm things down here for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Last thing I want to do is give up another goal right away. Zelanka was yanked off at halftime in favor of Lockhart on Saturday. The men's here, second appearance, or third appearance, excuse me. Zion wanted the foul, didn't get it. Creeping at the sideline.
Would you count that as hitting the woodwork? The Mendonca first try.
I think it did, right?
That would be at least one time that they've hit the bar of the post in each of their first 3 games, just to maybe speak to how unlucky they have been. It is the most in the league as they've lost the ball. Ezra White. Robles, it's a loose first touch that sets up Darren Sidwell with a lot of runway. Just a strange chaos grenade of a football match.
We've had some cracking goals. We've had some bizarre goals that bounced around. Mistake. It's the usual Wednesday night in USL League One. A couple of games Friday as well this week before we get really going on Saturday. Greenville will wrap it up on Sunday, as you mentioned.
Next up will be Westchester. And it will be an away day at FC Naples, a fixture that Dave Dixon was circling. All these coaches parcel the season into mini seasons, if you will. 4 or 5 games at a time. This was an important one to get some points in the barn for Greenville. With a mindfulness to try and maybe make that confirmed is Lucas Meek, who goes down rather easily in the box, and with how things have been officiated, not a chance that gets called.
He was looking for that from the moment he started to stumble. Lucas Meek was going away from goal. He didn't have a ton of help. It's worth a shot.
Greenville did score a league-high 7 penalties last year. That time the contact is illicit, though. Zelanka going down and winning the foul.
Seegers Some high contact from behind on Zalanka, knocking him to the ground. He apologized immediately. Not that that's going to change the decision. Chance for Simpel to put one into the mixer.
Everybody up. Seth Torment. There will be a chance to inspect his intestinal fortitude. Here comes. Not sure that was what was in the mind's eye of Sidvold as he struck the ball. And the counter is commencing. Robles running it down. Sidvold able to just sharpen the angle enough so that the goalkeeper could arrive. Now it's back the other way and sudden numbers there. Fricky had to do well in that moment.
Cosmos pushing bodies forward now. Smelling that blood in the water. They'd love to be able to pull a point out of this, their first point in league history.
It would have to come in dramatic fashion. They were down by a factor of 2 deep in this second half. It was 1-1 at the break. An own goal and then a deflected goal by Rodrigo Robles opened up the lead for Greenville. Most recent tally constructed by Nicholas Mendonca. We sit at 3-2 as we round the final bend. Just a rugby tackle from a very frustrated and now voicing it Connor Evans, who will receive a yellow card for that indiscretion.
He's upset at a teammate about something. Connor Evans, the guy who can control the pace of games. That's what he was trying to do here. Just got outnumbered on the sideline. There's really no need for that because the Jacko was waiting right there to make the challenge.
You never see him get turned up to that kind of temperature. Very cool-headed player. And he will sit on a booking for whatever is left in these next 6.5 minutes and what resides beyond the bounds of the 90. Hoofed ahead. Cabrera puts it into a dangerous area. Zalanka will keep it on. Zalanka rolling in. Blotted out by Fricky. And thundered away at the back by Patrick Segrist.
That was a dangerous ball in, fizzed across the box. Fricky just in the right place to get something on it.
Chavez. Things starting to really churn for the Cosmos. Greenville are preparing one change in response. Waiting for that window to open. Liotti leashing it down, a tethering first touch. He's away, it's Azad Liotti. Spectacular save. Stefani keeps his side with a fingertip grip on the game, but it's still on for Greenville. Robles rifling over at the back post and will be kept on by Lucas Meek. Connor Evans. Spangler was breathing hot breath on his neck. Robles just waiting for a whistle that does finally arrive.
And he just put his hands up saying, look at that hug. That's a monster save from Stefani. Perhaps making up for that error early. We'll see how things finish. It'll be a big save if they do manage to come back and tie this one.
It does look like Marcus Muir will come on for the closing shift as Rodrigo Robles. His services no longer required.
Looks like now Greenville will go with 5 at the back. 3 center backs. Muir, man out of the University of Kentucky. Loney from Lexington. Came off the bench in the first league game and then started the cup game.
The only expression that Greenville need now is not creativity, it's a grit-toothed grin, and that will be what the substitution indicates. Jacques Liotti was sent toppling, and it will be a free kick. The Greenvillians.
Chavez thought he was a little hard done by there. Liotti went down a little easily. Evans will certainly take his time with this set piece.
big time hesitation to commit any kind of bodies forward for Greenville.
Mira's up there, the former Spurs Academy man. Played a ton of games for the U18s. He'll be used to some pressure against them in the Premier League big boys.
Put forward by Noker. Second ball attached to Mendonca. And that swell is silenced by Anthony Patti. A frantic run down the line from Lucas Meek. Speeding away from Locker. Jacqua. And crashed away by Anderson Holt. Everybody on their feet. Greenville approaching the checkered tape. Foul called against Ivan Jacqua.
You see the Reedy River Riot on that far side, imploring their players to hold on for this big 3 points, even if it is the second league game of the season. After the disappointing first home loss, have to get that first win under their books.
Julian Locker riding the tackle. Slashing in across, man down in the top of the area, play allowed to continue. Zolanka. Another crushing tackle from Ivan Jacqua, who has pinched the ball back for Greenville.
Jacqua just throwing his weight around. He's a big physical presence.
Connor Evans coolly maintaining the ball, but putting it into a place where the flag would raise for offside. Not much protest there by the Greenville player. It looked like Ezra White.
Went to play the ball. That's why I was surprised the whistle went. Greenville will take it. A couple of seconds more off.
Guanzati looking for a foothold. Another spectacular tackle from Ivan Jacqua.
It's just reckless abandon of Jacqua. Throwing himself into every challenge. Just got to be careful not to do it too close to goal. And of course we get a soft one.
Cosmos coming up on their 12th hour. Ajmir Spangler. It is him now for the Cosmos. He got their first goal of the game. Might he be the architect of their first incandescent moment at the death here in South Carolina? Ajmir Spangler and a free kick.
We'll have at least 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time. A lot of substitutions. Lots of this.
Ajmir Spangler for New York Cosmos. Brendan Fricke. Rainbow shape, away by Muir.
Physical tussle there with Jordan Chavez, both grabbing each other. And wins
Locker.
When it was.
It's Liotti who lingers away from his own ends. We are into GE Vernova stoppage time. What is the ruling? 4 minutes, you called it. Yellow card.
Yeah, just too many niggling challenges. That one from Anderson Holt, I think it was. Take another 30 seconds off the clock. Marcus Muir in no hurry.
Triumph will not be possessed by any need for speed, we'll put it that way. First says Marcus Muir. It's time to get on with it. Set it down by Liotti. Meek. Ezra White. A twist toward the corner. I feel like it might be on there for a second for Greenville, but Ezra White was paying no mind to the opportunity.
It's tough in these corners at Stone Stadium. The ground just sort of drops off. It's hard to keep it. You've seen Connor Evans a couple of times having to reposition the ball on corners. It's got some character, this pitch.
Sidville. Forceful header from Brendan Fricke. Into the duel goes Ezra White. It will be a throw-in. Cabrera. Zolanka writhing through a party of green shirts. Another bit of contact, and this time it looks like a foul is going to be called against Sidville for ripping down Azad Liati. Tick, tick, tick. You better believe Dave Dixon's on pins and needles.
He wants that first win as the coach of the Greenville Triumph. No doubt about it. This team has had its moments tonight. Not a particularly superb performance over the 90-plus minutes, but as long as they come away with the 3 points, he won't care. Still early in the season, still players to come back from injury and the visa issues, as we mentioned.
Ooh, Ezra White flies in for it, and as it looked like he was off to the races, play has stopped.
Got a head injury.
That's exactly right.
Lucas Meek.
And Ross, given your officiating background, I will defer to you here. That is the correct procedure, yes?
Oh, yes. Once you see that it's a head injury, you can't really continue even if the team's got the ball. I'm sure Lucas Meek might disagree. He said he was up, probably thinks he's fine. Yeah, you've got to be careful. All these referees are very well trained in keeping an eye on these head issues.
And that means he will not be able to continue till he is properly examined. So it is down to 10 men for Greenville Triumph.
Dave Dixon perhaps asking if he can make the substitution, because you do get the extra one for the head, right?
True.
So that's what Dave Dixon is asking. It looks like he's going to get it. You have to go to his book now. He doesn't know his players quite well enough just yet.
Sidville, for the time being, the man advantage and the imperative residing with New York Cosmos. Fritz heads it away.
Certainly see at least another minute added on here. Referee Perry checking his watch though.
Sprinting down the line. Locker engaged with Fritz, has room for the cross. At the back post, headed wide. Still there, out by Muir. Shakily at that.
Chavez asking for a penalty, claiming he was dragged down by Segrist. I think it was just a good job by the veteran in the end.
Taken immediately at the top of the box. Spengler sprinkling in. It was an unmarked man, and Muir has not swept up, but now he's running. And running with company. Lucas Meek's back on, he's on the left. Muir rushing to the corner. From end to end. And still Muir. Relieved of possession are Greenville Triumph. Liati! Walled off by Stefani. Still going. As are the Cosmos and Ajmir Spengler. Frantic stuff here at the finish line. Fricke. Started the game, he'll end it. 3-2 the final. And Dave Dixon is in business with Greenville.
He said he wanted his team to be great tonight, and that was a gritty victory for the Triumph. Not the prettiest, but 3 points is 3 points. Dave Dixon glad to celebrate with his players. And Rodrigo Robles, your man of the match this evening.
Presented by GE Vernova. His third goal ended up being the winner when all was said and done. Despite a late push from the New York Cosmos, they will still have to wait to find that first point as a club in the USL, and this would be the goal. That was aforementioned, off the carom and into the history book.
Yeah, game high, 6 shots for Rodrigo Robles. Had some half chances in the first half. You just got to keep shooting, as they say in the other sport of basketball, and that's what Robles did and was rewarded. Will end up being the game winner.
This is the save of the match, brought to you by Thorn Ambulance. And holding his own would be Seth Torman. Didn't have to make a lot of saves tonight. He made this one at the near post in the early going.
Cosmos with only 3 shots on target, 2 of them went in, so that was the only save of the evening. For Seth Tolman playing in relief of Amal Knight did enough.
We'll pick through it when we return. At the final toll, it is 3-2 to Greenville triumph. The first win for Dave Dixon as manager.
Soy María, una de las asistentes que habla español aquí en Johnston Orthodontics. Estamos listos para brindarle un servicio excepcional y estar con usted. Soy María, una de las asistentes que habla español aquí en Johnston Orthodontics. Estamos listos para brindarle un servicio excepcional y estar con usted en cada paso de su viaje dental. Llámanos y programa tu cita hoy.
There's people that go their whole education without having an African American teacher. So when I received my lottery-funded life scholarship, I knew I wanted to choose a school that had the Call Me Mr. program. Their mission is to recruit and retain teachers in underserved areas. I want them to be able to look at me and say, okay, he looks like me, he knows what I'm going through, he can guide me in the right direction.
More role models means a better South Carolina. And a better South Carolina means a better you.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Second match of the year for Greenville triumph is a crazy one. On the ScanSource post-game report with Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Keller, and Ross, I'm not sure we've made sense of it quite yet, but we will attempt to. The highlights of the match that was presented by Piedmont. It would be Brendan Fricke of all people, maybe a telegraph of what was to come. Just an evening of randomness here for Greenville triumph.
What a strike by Fricke. Not really words to say for that one, Peyton. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Then later on, it would be Osmir Spangler tying things up ahead of halftime. That would be 1-1. Greenville would find a couple more here and extend that lead to 3-1.
Yeah, the match was poised nicely until this mistake by Tristan Stefani, allowing the own goal by Jordan Chavez in the end, as Ali Aradi will not want to take credit. He did the hard work, that's for sure.
Later on, another Greenville strike, this time from Rodrigo Robles, coming off the ankle, it looked like. The defender, Morabito, he will claim it all the same, and it was 3-1.
Looked like Greenville were going to cruise to the 2-goal victory. Cosmos came right back at them with 13 minutes to go to make it interesting.
Nicholas Mendonca, off a deflection, would get his first goal for the Cosmos. Just would not be enough on the day. The full-time stats are brought to you by the South Carolina Education Lottery. This is what reveals a game that really had no clear answer until the final bell.
No, it was a fun one, especially for the neutral as well as the Greenville Triumph fans. Cosmos will head home to try and fix this leaky defense. Now 9 goals allowed in 3 games. Will look to pick up their first ever victory at home on Saturday against Fort Wayne.
9 goals allowed on only 12 shots on target for the entire season.
Yeah, things will even out, obviously, over as the season goes on, but welcome to League One.
Welcome to League One, indeed. Greenville triumph. Get out on the good foot for the first time in 2026. 3 points, 3 goals. Brendan Fricke got us going, and we did not stop on a wild night in South Carolina. My partner, Ross Davenport, our entire wonderful crew here with the USL League One. Folks, as always, I've been Peyton Keller. We will talk to you soon. The USL League One season rolls on. The final score, Greenville 3, your Cosmos 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.